yeah, keep an eye out on that. It's a story that I do want to get to, but I'm literally falling apart here health-wise live on the air. So that's a little bit problematic. But part of the motive for them is really undoubtedly financial. Many of Haspel's vocal supporters from the intelligence community would make great profit by doing business with the CIA. Here's an interest. Here's one of those. Here's kind of an example of this. So Jeremy Bash is the founder and managing director of Beacon Global Strategies, LLC, a private consulting firm led by Obama's former acting CIA director, Michael Morrell, who, needless to say, also supports Haspel. Beacon is filled with CIA and ex-intelligence officials from both parties, including Panetta and Bush Homeland Secretary, Homeland Security Advisor, Fran Townsend. So many of the Beacon executives are the same national security officials who worked last year with Bill Kristol and Marco Rubio's neocon policy guru to create the Alliance for Securing Democracy. Its Hamilton 68 dashboard to advocate a new, more aggressive foreign policy. That's pretty much the Hamilton 68 dashboard is something that's used to control topics like, for example, socialism, and just like a lot of left-wing topics are ended up there. It's pretty much based on showing. It's pretty much the point of it is to show what the Russian bots are tweeting out, quote unquote. And the creators have disavowed it, but it's still regularly cited in news stories saying Russian bots are tweeting up a storm about Bernie Sanders. He must be bad. There's a bunch of stories that have come up along that ilk there that are very kind of disturbing because they have really done a lot of worrying things there at one point or another. So yeah, we got Jeremy Bash on the Speaking Global Strategies team. There's Michael Allen, Andrew Shapiro, all those people you may have heard of from prior Bush-Obama national security advisor people. So Beacon describes itself as a strategic advisory firm specializing in international policy, defense, cyber intelligence, and Homeland Security, and to clients it touts its deep experience informed by their years of service in the White House, deep states, not deep state. Oh, I slept up. I'm sleeped up. They're gonna hit me. Oh God. So in other words, it leverages its connections to the intelligence and military agencies for which they worked for to generate profits from corporate clients who do business with the agencies or whose business otherwise depends on their goodwill. So if your income and profit dependent on maintaining close relations with the government's agencies with whom you help manage, as is true with many of the DC revolving door type people, once you leverage your public credentials to bolster whatever agenda they were supporting at the moment, i.e. one Gina Haspel. So yeah, if you see all this kind of support, like people who you thought you would never hear from ever again, and you were happy about it, like people like John Brennan, I mean, you're suddenly hearing from them again, and that's because of one thing and one thing only. They want to support their bestie, Gina Haspel, Bloody Gina as they call her, and that's the main problem. So, yeah, and they're really the only defense they can really use. The only real defense they can use here. I really want to keep doing this story, but we just do not have a lot of time. Yeah, I think we're out of time here. But the only real defense they can use is literally the Nazi defense. Oh, I was just following orders. Like, that's not an acceptable thing to do. It's just not, like, you can't use that to your defense. It's not, it should be outlawed. Like, people were executed for saying that. So I don't know why they bring it up here. Maybe because we live in America and we have no justice for the people in the government and the richest people in our country. So there is that. So, yeah. So anyway, pretty busy show today. Hope you liked it. Sorry about melting down health-wise about halfway through the show. But yeah, so there is that as well. Why do I keep saying there is that? But yeah, that'll do it for us today. We will see you tomorrow. It's Newsflash.